Hello, are you an Arizona citizen and you have an old case that you want to get sealed or you want to get your gun rights restored back here in Arizona? I can help you. My name is Derron Woodfork and I'm an attorney here in Scottsdale, Arizona. And I want to give you an idea of the overall picture on how to get your gun rights back or to get an old case sealed. Those are two different laws here in Arizona, but the process is kind of the same from my perspective on how we file to get your rights restored. The first thing we do is basically when you call our office, we get an idea of how many cases you have or what type of case you have. We try to get information on to find out if you're even eligible to file it under the law. Usually people are eligible to file under the law. Essentially, there's different time limits. If it's a class 6 felony, you have to wait 5 years. If it's a 2 and 3, you have to wait 10 years, things like that to file your motion. But that's under the law. However, what you need to be aware of is that the judges also kind of have these time limits in their head too. So even if you qualify under the law, sometimes the judges want to see a case that's 10 years old, 20 years old, things like that, instead of maybe 3 years old for like a DUI, which is the time limit for a DUI. But so the first thing we do is find out if you qualify to file the motion. The second thing we do is I'll ask you for documentation on your good character. Basically, I put together like a packet to give to the judge, and I'll have letters of good character letters from you, from your employer, from your church, from any volunteer associations, anything like that. That basically demonstrates your good character and what you've been doing since the old case happened. And so we put all that together because we file it as exhibits in the motion that I file. Which gets me to the actual filing. The actual filing is really only a 5-page document that you file with the court. You just fill in the blanks in the motion to get your gun rights back or the motion to seal your old case. It's just basically, fill in the blank documents. However, again, like I said, what we do here at my firm is we put together like a whole packet to give to the judge with all your good character stuff. So that's the second thing we do is we get together all your information, to get to the judge. The third thing that we do is we file it with the court. I'll make sure that everything's filled out properly, and I'll make sure that everything's filed in the proper court also, because you have to file a motion to seal or a motion to restore your gun rights. You have to file that in the court where you were convicted of way back when. So we make sure we file it in the right spot. After we file the case, it's going to be about 3 months minimum before you get a decision in the case. Actually, before that, you might get a notice, especially when you're filing to get your gun rights back. You might get a notice that says that the judge wants to have a hearing on your motion, so they want you to come down to court. And you obviously, I go with you. If I'm your lawyer, I go down there with you. I'm standing right beside you, and we argue for getting your gun rights back in court. Normally that doesn't happen, but if it does happen, it's usually in somebody asking them to get their gun rights back, not a motion to seal under the new law. I've never had a hearing requested, or I've never had a hearing where I had to go to for a motion to seal, not in the last year and a half of filing these motions. But sometimes you do have to do it when you're asking for your gun rights back. In such a hearing, I'll prepare you for that hearing on kind of what you need to do. Mainly what you need to remember is that the judge is going to be asking you kind of why do you want your gun rights back? That's the question I've seen the most at hearings for, restoring your gun rights back. And that's a fourth thing, the actual hearing. And then the fifth and final thing is just waiting. You just wait until you get a decision. And again, like I said, that takes 3, 4, maybe even 5 months now to get a decision on whether or not you're going to get if the judge is going to grant your rights to restore your gun rights or seal your old case. So anyways, that's a overview of the process of getting your gun rights back. I hope that helps. I've a ton of videos on here explaining the new law here in Arizona. and you can find a lot. You can find the videos I have here, but most of the information I have on this is in the shorts part of the YouTube channel. So go through those videos in the shorts, and they'll tell you all the details on filing a motion to seal your old case under the new law and restoring your gun rights here in Arizona. If you have any other questions, please give me a call, 602-284-3035. Thank you.